But I think the preference for lighter-skinned women is something that has been around for a long, long time. So we tried to get at some of those things on the panel, like this sort of intra-racial dynamics that we're seeing across the globe around lighter skin somehow being better. I love Treva's response to that, which is we need to also think about the ways in which the market overdetermines those things, so that literally speaking, lighter skinned people do better economically. And if you're talking about young rappers who are on a sort of materialistic, lyrical kind of bent, that would mean that the lighter skinned woman would reflect greater material substance. And so that would be my top line response to that. But I would say also we got to do more research and actually get down to the social linguistic nitty gritty of the transformation of that term from red bone to yellow bone.
I simply think color politics have a very long history in black communities, and the preference, or this preferred preference, as the idea of what this ideal is that's celebrated, has resonated profoundly with a kind of white cultural space, that it has its impact in black cultural production. So even in moments where you had something like A Living Single, or even moments like that, it was still the lighter skinned woman who was seen as the most sexually available, sexually desirable framing, and that Maxine, the darker skinned character, although having great success with men, was framed in a certain way that she was aggressive and masculine and uptight, and it was this very interesting dichotomy of what sexuality looks like based on color. So I think when we start to have these discussions with these young men, what are the images that they're getting as to what's beautiful, right? The only two African American women who've ever been named People's Most Beautiful Women were Halle Berry and Beyonce, right? I think that's very telling about an aesthetic of beauty. Even when you mention Naomi Campbell, she still functions within this high fashion, demarcated space that is almost an exoticized blackness or fetishization, but she still had to have straight hair, lighter eyes, a certain kind of body type to pass within that space. So what do we have to do to think about the entrenchment of color politics in our communities, particularly around female bodies and desirability, that's now intertwined with a popular culture market that already has its dictated understandings of what beauty is, and a lot of these artists have to pander to. So I think a lot of them are doing it unconsciously. It's just like, oh, I'm talking about a yellow bow. Oh, I don't hate on dark-skinned women. Right. It's just, you know, that's what we're saying. That's who the pretty girl is. Right? Or just even like the language.
Talking about my car, or talking about...
It's another kind of property objectification, but that works in a currency kind of way for power.